Hi, welcome back to Real Auto Reports. I'm Jonathan McGrew, and today we are with the 2013 Scion FR-S. This sports coupe is something that is brand new to the Toyota family and the Scion family, and actually, if you've seen the Subaru BRZ, the Subaru family, and that's because it's a partnership between Toyota and Subaru. So let's take a closer look in this real first impressions video at the FR-S and see what we think from a first look.
From the front, the Scion FR-S is one of those cars that you just know is a sports car. You can see it from the sculpting in the hood. You can even see it in the impressions there around the Scion logo. If you look at that detail you can see here in the video. There's also the aggressive styling of the lower air dams and the way that the front fender rises up over the wheel arches, and from the inside you can actually see those detail areas, and it allows you to really position the car on the road or the track, and it is a great looking sport coupe from Scion. In other parts of the world this is going to be a Toyota, and you might also see similarities because they are pretty much the same with the Subaru BRZ. It is a joint venture between Toyota and Subaru to produce the two cars. All in all, though, the first impression from the front is that this is an aggressive, good-looking sports car. From the side, you can really see that the Scion FR-S is a sport coupe. The lines come from the nose all the way up along the fender and around to the back in a nice, solid design. It looks like the sports coupes that it draws its heritage from the 80s, and those would be things like the Corolla GTS. And that is really in the Toyota heritage what this car draws from. It was affectionately referred to by enthusiasts as the AE86, which is why this car on the side has the badge that says 86, and the two detail pieces of that badge are cylinders pushing outward from it. That's to indicate the boxer engine that Toyota and Subaru have developed together for the FR-S and the Subaru BRZ. This car has a lot of good history to it. It has emotion tied to it for enthusiasts and some great looks. From the back, the Scion FR-S might seem a little plain, but have no fear, you can option this up with spoilers and ground effects and all sorts of things to make it personal and unique to you. Now, what I think is most interesting about this car is that it is not a hatchback. It is a true coupe, in that the trunk lid does not open with the rear glass. So that is actually kind of a nice feature to some degree because it gives you a real secure trunk. Now, if you need to get stuff in it, it does have rear folding seats, and they have designed this car so you can get 4 sets of tires in the back with the seats folded down. That's good for autocross. And some other neat features about the back here is the standard dual exhaust, the rear brake light setup is nice. It's got some good detail. It looks aggressive. And I love that they have moved the reverse lights down to the bottom of the bumper there with that other triangular light detail. It is a good looking car. They've put a lot of thought into it, and it comes off nicely. From the driver's seat, the first impressions might be that the Scion FR-S is a little plain inside. Now, that is actually done on purpose. This is meant to be a true sports car and a true driver's car. It has everything you need and none of the stuff you don't. So that means it's a little light on luxury features, although it does have some nice detail. If you look at the steering wheel there, you can see the red contrast stitching that is standard on all of the models. That really does uplift the quality of this car. You also get that same contrast stitching on the seats, which are in a kind of velour velvety, I don't know, it's kind of a soft cotton material that feels kind of like suede, actually. It is a neat car inside because it is meant to be all sports car. They've done a nice job, and it's one of the nicer interiors from Scion, in my opinion. I think that this car is really oriented to the sports enthusiast, and that means that you might have to look elsewhere if you want a higher end, more optioned out vehicle. Under the hood, you're going to find the 2-liter 4-cylinder boxer engine. Yes, it is horizontally opposed like most of the Subaru motors you would find. And since this is a joint venture, a partnership with Subaru and Toyota, the Scion utilizes this technology along with a lot of other technology, including the new D4S direct and port injection system that has been developed for the Scion FR-S and the Subaru BRZ. This car has 200 horsepower, which is excellent for its size and weight. It's mated to a 6-speed manual transmission, and of course you can get that in the automatic, as I mentioned before. It is a great motor that will get 22 miles per gallon in town and 30 out on the highway with a combined rating of 25 miles per gallon. Not bad for a pretty quick and fun little sports car. Hitting the road in the 2013 Scion FR-S is going to be a raw experience. It's sports car oriented, it's performance oriented. It's a car where you can feel the crispness of the shift, you hear the motor. It's got a wide RPM band, you're over 7,000 RPM when you hit the red line. This car is all about the driving experience and getting back to basics, being one with the road. And it does a great job of that. However, it's lacking in its luxury features. It's going to be a stiff ride. You do have power windows, power door locks. You don't have climate control. You just have a standard HVAC system. In the basic car, the radio is fairly basic. And so all of that, when you're driving around, it's one of those cars that really, what you're buying it for is the driving experience, not the technology included, unless you're talking about the engine and the performance that engine puts out. It is a nice experience to drive, though, if you love a sports car, so you might want to take a closer look at it.
So that's the real first impressions of the 2013 Scion FR-S. This car is about $25,000 as tested, has a 2-liter 4-cylinder boxer engine that puts out 200 horsepower. It goes 0 to 60 in about 6.2 seconds. This particular car has the 6-speed manual transmission, which from a real first impressions driving perspective is a great feeling transmission, great clutch engagement, and we really like the way it drives. Make sure you stay tuned for the real video, the real review coming up right here on Real Auto Reports. I'm Jonathan McGrew, and we'll see you down the road.